What's up everyone, and welcome to this tutorial on how to build a 2D space shooter game using Python and Pygame. And let me tell you, this game called Blasteroids is one awesome ride. Now this game is a port of an activity from the book Head First C, which was originally written in C, but don't worry, we'll be diving into the Python version of it. I wrote this game from scratch 6 years ago, and I've been sitting on it for a while because I was using a third-party library before and I couldn't make it free. But you know what? I finally decided to release it to you all, and trust me, it's worth the wait. I had also planned to divide it into a series of videos and even made a video about it, but I wasn't able to finish it as I originally planned. You can find the link to that video on the upper right hand corner of your screen in case you're interested on how I created these sprites in the game. Just a heads up though, I'm using Ubuntu 20.04 as my operating system, but if you're on Windows, all you have to do is install Python and Pygame into your system and you're good to go. All the links to that in the description below. You can download the source code from my GitHub page, Rai Salvador, and all you have to do is look for the repository called Blasteroids and click on the download button on the right hand corner, and from the drop down select the download zip and then extract the contents on your desktop. Alright, now let's go over the code. So over here on my terminal, I'm going to use Vim to open the file Blasteroids, which can be found here. If we list the files, you can also find a folder here called assets, and if we take a look what's inside assets, we can find the sound files and the font that are used in the game. However, if you're using another operating system, you can use an IDE or your favorite text editor to view the code. In Windows, for example, you can use Notepad++. So Vim Blasteroids. The code starts by importing several modules and libraries, including Pygame, the operating system module, the platform module, and the random module, and the sys module. It then sets some global variables such as the screen size here, the size of the ship here, and various game settings like the number of asteroids and the rate at which new asteroids are added to the game. The code also defines several functions that are used throughout the game, such as the exit game, which quits the game and exits a program, the press any key function, which awaits for the player to press a key, and then the draw text function, which renders text on the screen, the get blast function, which creates the ship's blaster, and the new rock function, which creates a new asteroid, and the new ship function, which creates a new spaceship, and the center rotate function, which rotates the image to the center. And this is actually the most challenging part in developing the game, because it uses a bit of trigonometry to be able to rotate the images. So over here, these are some of the websites that showed their solutions that I found useful. This one is already on the archive.org website. Alright, now going back, all the magic happens in the main function here. So it first initializes the Pygame and creates the game window right there and sets the caption for the window. It also loads various game assets such as sounds here, sounds and fonts, and creates the ship and the asteroids and displays the title screen right here. The sounds are in wave format. If my memory serves me right, I think I've created them using Dr. Peter's SFXR app, and you can just go to this link to check it out. Okay, so going back, after the player presses a key or any key, the game enters the main loop. So this is the main loop, and the loop starts by handling events from the event queue such as key presses and mouse clicks. It then checks if the player has pressed the left or right arrow key and rotates the ship accordingly. It also checks if the player has pressed the up or down arrow key and adjusts the ship's speed accordingly. The code also checks if the player has pressed the spacebar and creates a new blaster if they have. Then it clears the screen and updates the game state by updating the position of the ship and the asteroids, checking for collisions between the ship and the asteroids, and updating the score. The code also has a system to handle the player's lives and scores, and if the player's ship collides with an asteroid, the player will lose a life, and if the blaster hits the asteroid, it will be split into smaller ones, and if the player runs out of lives, the game will end and the score will be compared to the top score. So again, there's a system that handles the rotation of the asteroid ships and the blaster, which is the center rotate function. It is used to rotate the images, and this function takes an image, width and height as arguments and returns the rotated images, or rotated image rather. It also uses the vector2 object from the Pygame library to represent the position and velocity of the ship and asteroids. This makes it easier to handle movement and collision detection in the game. Finally, the code uses the Pygame library's built-in functions to draw text on the screen and play sound effects and handle input events. Overall, this code provides a basic foundation for a 2D space shooter game. It can be further developed to add more features such as power-ups, different types of asteroids, and a scoring system. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave a comment below. Please give my video a like and share it. And don't forget to subscribe for more game development tutorials.